Good day, everyone. This is Jack from the Stock Serpent Watchdog, and right now we are going to look at Electronic Arts, ticker symbol EA. Let's get started with our Ichimoku checklist. This is a Japanese system, Ichimoku Kinko Heyo. That is a one glance system. You look at one chart and it gives you all the information that you need to trade it to the upside or the downside. On this channel, we focus on the upside, but let's have a quick look at what is going on here. And this looks like a lot of downside action to me. All right, our first item on our checklist is the price trading above the Kumo cloud. This is the Kumo cloud. The Kumo cloud is area of support and resistance. Now, clearly, price is trading well below it, and that would make it a negative or a bearish item on our checklist. And for that, I'm going to number it 1 in red, which is a bearish one. All right, second item on our checklist is price greater than the Kumo shadow. Now, the Kumo shadow is what the Kumo cloud is doing behind price. Right now, there is no indication of anything in the Kumo shadow that can offer us support or resistance for that matter, and therefore I will number it neutral. The Kumo shadow is back here. I'm just going to number it neutral because it is not relevant to this chart. Moving on to the third item on our checklist, the Tenkan-sen. There is the Tenkan-sen. It is our 9-day fast-moving average. Is it greater or is it less than the Tenkan-sen? The Tenkan, sorry, did I say Tenkan-sen? Is the Tenkan-sen greater or less than the Kijun-sen? The Kijun-sen is this red line. This is an intermediate term midpoint moving average. Now, this Tenkan-sen here is the fast one, and it is trying to keep pace with this drop in the price of Electronic Arts. So let's have a quick look. It has turned negative up here, and once it turned negative, it just kept going and going. We are down to almost the 85 level. We're roughly at 85.97, and this indicator on our checklist is definitely negative. So the Tenkan-sen is trading under our Kijun-sen, and that makes this a negative indicator. All right, a negative item on our checklist. Then, is price trading close to or near the Kijun-sen? The Kijun-sen is this red line here. Price is pretty far removed from it. The Kijun-sen is trading at 97 bucks, while price is at about 86. So that would be a bit of a positive indicator or item on our checklist. Why is that? Because over time, price does tend to be drawn to the Kijun-sen, but we'll have to wait and see what happens here. It is highly speculative. It can continue down, but there is a good chance that price can start moving up here to meet the Kijun-sen, especially after a massive drop like that. So we got two bearish items here, one neutral and one bullish. Now let's get moving to our fifth indicator. Our fifth one is the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen above the Kumo. That would be bullish. If these two lines are above the Kumo, they are clearly not. They are trading below the Kumo. They are in bearish alignment, and that would make this another negative. So at our fifth point on our checklist, it is still negative. So we're halfway through. We got 3 bearish indicators. We have 1 neutral and 1 bullish. And at this point, I don't really even have to continue to analyze this because I would not be touching this with a 10-foot pole until these first 5 indicators turn bullish. So I would not put my hard-earned money into this. I would wait for these indicators to be positive. Heaven forbid that doesn't happen soon. But let's see what the bottom half of our checklist tells us. Is the Tenkan-sen pointing down? Well, the Tenkan-sen is pointing down. This fast-moving average is pointing down. That is another negative. So that's our 6th item, and it's negative. Is the Kijun-sen moving down? Now the Cajuns seem to have stabilized a little bit here, and that goes hand in hand with what price is doing here. It is consolidating a tiny little bit. There it is. It is a neutral indicator because it's going sideways. It's not bullish. It's not bearish. It is just neutral. Then let's get to the Chicago Spun. The Chicago Spun here, oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful indicator. I want you to just look at this. That is where the Chicago Spun broke through the cloud. All right. Now it broke through the cloud, and that means that it made it possible for this to start trending. First off, what is the Chicago Spun? Let's do a quick review. The Chicago Spun is the closing price plotted back or charted back 26 periods, 26 days. So this tells you if the Chicago Spun is trading under the price from 26 days ago, that this is in fact not trending, and it is not bullish. It is bearish because it is under price. So as long as the Chicago Spun is under price, it is bearish. And this is where it broke out, and this is where the trend really got going. Look at that. It hasn't even interacted with price at all. That means there is more downside to come here, quite possibly, even after this consolidation. So let's move on to our eighth indicator. Our eighth indicator is the Chicago Spun under price. Yes, it is. That is bearish. Definitely bearish. Our ninth item on our checklist is the Chicago Spun greater than the Kumo. The Kumo is up here. This is our cloud. Here it started moving below the Kumo cloud, and therefore this is again negative. So we've got the ninth item negative, and here is our final item on our checklist, the Chicago Spun future. What does the future look like for this indicator? Does this look bright or does this look gloomy? All right, so here it is. We look vertically first. If it is to move up, what's going to happen? If it is to move up, it's going to interact with price. And as soon as the Chicago Spun interacts with price, a consolidation usually starts. Now, it's not just price that it's going to interact with if it moves up. It's going to interact with these moving averages, which is also a resistance point for price. So don't expect Electronic Arts to have a miraculous recovery here, because there is definitely some resistance up ahead, even if the price does move up. So what happens on the horizontal? If it is moving sideways only, it's going to be interacting with price over here. That is roughly on a 1 month time frame. So if price moves sideways here only and it consolidates, then the Chicago Spun will start interacting with price, which would lead to further consolidations. And then finally, we might have some kind of move back up. So for right now, the future for the Chicago Spun does not look that good. But let's give that a neutral rating, because it does look like it has kind of stabilized here, and there is some space to move to the upside. However, there is also plenty of space to move to the downside. And with that, we're actually going to move to the weekly chart. All right, let's just quickly get to the weekly chart. There's the weekly chart. And let's just get this out of the way. All right. The weekly chart, however, looks a little bit different. Now, the reason this looks different is because it is from 2016. Here you can see this massive move up in Electronic Arts. It moved up from $67 to $151 at the peak. And since that peak, it has just been clobbered. It's been clobbered. It has actually gone through this cloud. Let's just use our system. Again, we're looking at analyzing it using bearish, bullish, and neutral checklist items. First is the price under the cloud. Yes, it is. It has actually moved under the cloud here. Let me clear that and start afresh. All right, so it's under the cloud, but this is on a weekly time frame. So this massive move down here, that happened right after it broke through the lower edge of the cloud. Let's look at what the second item says. Is the price greater than the Kumo shadow? Where is the Kumo shadow? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Where is this Kumo shadow? Here it is. The Kumo shadow came in over here. It just cut straight through that item. It cut straight through that support level. There was a lot of selling pressure. Usually with a horizontal Senkou spun B, there is some kind of consolidation where buyers and sellers at least put up a little bit of a battle. But right now, it is just falling. The next support area comes in right over here. That is far, far below. That's at just under 70 bucks. So let's look at what that says in our checklist. Is the price greater or is the price less than the Kumo shadow? The Kumo shadow is only coming into effect down here. That would leave a lot of open space here to move through. There's a tiny little bit of support coming in here, but yeah, that is probably not going to be holding. Let's just draw that in for argument's sake. There's a tiny support that could hold if it drops there, but it's about just $77. So we're at 86 now. We dropped to 77. That is still a significant drop. And if I have to number that, I would definitely not number it bullishly. I would say that is a bearish indicator. Okay, so there it is. Second one, that's the closest support that we have. And this is on a weekly. So there is still some downside left here before support from the Kumo shadow, which is the Kumo cloud trading behind price, what it can offer to price here in terms of support. The third item is the Tenkan-sen greater than the Kijun-sen. Well, here they are, and these are definitely a negative alignment. They are just falling. Price is not even close to them. So that's negative as well. Are they trading below the cloud? Well, there's a little bit of hope here because the Kijun-sen is trading in the cloud. That would make it neutral indicator because it's not trading below it. Is the Tenkan-sen pointing down? That's our next item. Is the Tenkan-sen moving down? It is pointing down. That is another negative. Is the Kijun-sen moving down? Is it pointing down? That is another negative. Even though it is still in the cloud, it is still pointing down. Then the Chikou span. Now this is where the rubber meets the road. Why do I say that? I say that because look at this. This is where everything started turning very, very, very bad for investors in electronic arts. Now here, the Chikou span broke through the cloud, and guess what happened? The momentum started picking up, and we moved down considerably. Okay, so this is what I like to trade, this breakout here of the Chikou span. So the eighth item looks like this. The eighth item says, is the Chikou span greater than the price? It is under price, so that is clearly negative. So I can number that negative. And then did I just number that wrong? I did. Okay, that belongs over here. And now that is going haywire. Okay, let's fix that. Let's just get rid of those. All right, just ignore these. The seventh item is over there. And then the eighth item is the Chikou span trading under price. That is indeed a bearish indicator right there. Is it trading under the Kumo? Also a bearish indicator. And the 10th item is what is the future of the Chikou span. The Chikou span needs to be in open space, and look at that. Once it broke through this cloud, it was open space galore. There's open space all the way down here. There does not seem to be any kind of support here. So for that, we are numbering both of these negative. They're both bearish. The ninth item was, is it trading below the Kumo? Yes, it's trading below the Kumo. Is the Chikel Span future positive or negative? Well, it is very negative. The future here of the Chikel Span vertically, it can just continue down. There is no price to interact with. There is no cloud to interact with. It can just continue down. The only saving grace here might be this support area right here, and a larger support area right here at 70. So right now, I would not be putting my money in this stock. Let's just do the count on the weekly. On the weekly, just by looking at it, you can see that everything is bearish except for one neutral item, and that is the Cajun Sin having not broken through the cloud yet. Well, that is hardly any kind of consolidation, any kind of hope. Now, I also want to just look at the monthly here. Here is the monthly chart. And on the monthly, it looks differently again. Now, this time it's because it's from the 2009 bottom. Here you can see this massive breakout. This breakout went through the cloud. This was a bullish breakout of the Chikel Span, and it looks awesome. But look at the current price action. Okay, so the current price action here, that is the Chikel Span, and that comes from this bottom here. All right, so look at where the Chikel Span is. The Chikel Span has just started interacting with price. Now, what does that mean? That means absolutely nothing to someone who does not know this Ichimoku Kinko system. But what does it mean to me? It means that price is going to be entering a consolidation period here, or at least soon. Between 86 and 73, it should be entering a consolidation area, and that is what I'm expecting right now. So if you want to be adding to the long side here, you are going to be in for quite a volatile ride. If you want to be going long, I would suggest that you wait for the dailies to be moving up more strongly, but you're going to be tying up your money for a good couple of months here, as price is going to be consolidating at best. At worst, we break through this level and the Chikel Span continues down while price drops to the top of the cloud, and then it consolidates. So that is quite a ways down. Look at the price now at about 86. It can drop all the way down to about 65 just to be at the top edge of the cloud. So I would be staying out of this. Electronic Arts is not a buy. It is a danger ahead, and I would not be holding this. I would be selling this, if anything. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to this channel if you want to get any updates. Hit that notification bell, please. And this is a new channel. It's called the Stock Serpent Watchdog. It is there to protect the little guy from making the mistakes that can ruin your investment account. You don't want to be experience all these whipsaws in your account by trying to catch falling knives because some guy on YouTube or some guy on the mainstream media said that this is a buy and this is good value. The fact of the matter is, nobody knows. The only indicator of what's going on here is price, and that is what I'm analyzing right now. And right now, using the Ichimoku Kinko technical trading system, it's telling me that price is probably going to be consolidating right here, and that it's going to be volatile and choppy going sideways here, and that if you are going to be buying here, you're going to be stuck in a consolidation zone for an extended period of time. If you want that, go for it. If you do not, please avoid the stock to protect your account. All right, remember, the Stock Serpent Watchdog is there to protect the little guy, and I want to wish everyone great trading and good day.